Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. We are back on the fifth leg of this GA tour on the States, and we are in Brunswick, and the storm that has been following us since we started finally seems to have left us behind, which is very good indeed, because I was getting kind of sick of flying like a maniac. So hopefully this time we can fly more like we're supposed to be flying. I still want to continue doing the A2A Skylane. If you remember from last stream, we have some severe, considerable wear on our tires, and they will need replacing soon. I'm not going to replace them, mostly because I am extremely curious as to what happens when we wear them out. We are let's put some oil in the engine. We have 4 passengers on board and full baggage, and we are even a little bit overweight because we have a lot of fuel. The reason why we have a lot of fuel is because this time we are going to have to make quite a long flight. My flight around the States has started, like I've mentioned in an earlier stream. It started way up in Bar Harbor in Maine. I worked my way down through the northeast and down south and through Washington and Georgia and the Carolinas. We are currently in Georgia, in Brunswick on the Georgian coast, and we are going to make our way down through Florida. What I'm kind of been doing as I've been flying down is I've been using the Orbex freeware airports as I'm testing out the land class as basis, and right now we are here in Brunswick. To just fly to Fernandina Beach outside of Jacksonville, to me, is a little short, so I kind of think I want to fly all the way down to Titusville, or really close to Cape Canaveral, so Kennedy Space Center, which could be interesting. It's a pretty long flight. It's actually 177 miles as I've planned it out in SkyVector. Fairly long, and there's like we said, no weather this time, no massive weather anyway, and no airspace either. I think we'll just miss the airspace outside of Jacksonville, and we'll just miss the MOA outside of Jacksonville if we fly in here like I planned. We'll fly over. There's some airspace to navigate once we get down to Daytona Beach. Part of me kind of wanted to maybe get the Yor Island scenery for Daytona Beach, but I've been buying a lot of scenery lately, so I'm not going to. And then we'll go circumnavigate Orlando and make our way down to Merritt Island community. Well, how do we pronounce that? Yeah, Merritt Island County or something. County International. It will be an interesting flight, and the A2A has pretty good cruise speed, so that should be okay. But I might speed up the stream in the middle there, because it's a fair bit longer than we've done so far on the stream. But you know, that's it. Let's get the party started. I'll start by just basically starting the engine here, and as we saw last time, we'll check the fuel flow, positive fuel flow. Yeah, let's see if we can get a little bit of fuel flow here. Don't want to flood the engine. And well, beacon is on, and throttle is cracked. Fuel is lean, so we're gonna start the engine and slowly add power and mixture, and hopefully it should start. Come on. There we go. Never seem to understand quite what makes it start and what makes it not start, to be honest with you. It's a beautiful day today. much better than, well, the weather we have been seeing. Huge difference. I'm also using some new streaming software.
Sierra, India, airport information, Quebec.
New streaming software, so hopefully the sound volume will be more appropriate.
TOS, system test OK.
Okay. Let's see, it was, let's add, that was Kilo, Charlie, Oscar, India. Was that Merritt Island? Yes. Okay. So, I don't know, I guess there's lots of ways to do this, but what I kind of like to do when I'm using the GTN is I like to just use to input the main flight plan and then just modify it. I find that very effective. Actually, I think maybe it would be better if you just removed that SSI. Yeah, let's do it that way. We can get sure that we get around the MOA and this airspace. Add all the VORs going down here. There will be an airspace that we'll have to navigate through. That shouldn't be much of a problem since I'm not really doing it as properly as I should anyway. Oops. That's sometimes annoying though. You end up pressing things and it thinks you want to modify the route, but you actually just want to scroll around the map. Okay. That's that. Let's see here. So we are 251, 251. Let's get the weather.
Kilo, Sierra, Sierra, India, airport information, Sierra 1553, Zulu, weather, wind 008 at 6, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 29er, dew point 22, altimeter 3001, advise on initial contact that you have information, Sierra, Kilo, Sierra, Sierra, India, airport information, Sierra 1553, Zulu, weather, wind 008 at.
Okay, so we'll be taking off into the north. 008 he said, so I think we're gonna make our way all the way over to runway 04 for the takeoff. It's quite a long taxi, which is a little bit challenging in this plane. As you maybe, if you followed me on my previous stream, you saw that I had some challenges taxiing this bird. I've been complaining before, but my pedals are a little loose. They're not properly attached to the floor. I put down new floors recently, and we just sold our apartment, so I can't make modifications to it either. I just have to live with it for now. But basically, what I think we'll do here is we'll make our way down to the left, cross over this way, and go down to runway 04 and leave. Okay, so KSI traffic, runway 4, and it's taxi.
November 905 Charlie Sierra is taxiing to runway 4, Kilo Sierra Sierra India.
Okay, I'll take the flaps already. Well, it's gonna be a nice change of pace flying down here without this insane weather. I hope it's not boring. That's always the problem when you do these kinds of flights, is it's not always, I mean, it was very irresponsible, the flying we've been doing, but it was also very interesting. So let's see how interesting it will be today. I hope it's not just too boring. I think what we'll do is we'll try and cruise up quite high, get up to maybe, I don't know, 8,000–9,000 feet, and get a very good cruise going, try and work on our fuel economy, and then head on down over Florida. Should be pretty flat and uneventful, I think, at 9,000 feet. See, I like these freeway airports, lots of cars parked. It's a real immersive quality to things. I don't know if this is actually a taxiway or if this is more just a parking way. I don't know what you'd call it, but I guess we're using it as a taxiway, aren't we? Quite a narrow scraping by this hangar over here. I'm so excited about Orbx bringing out HD buildings and Rex coming out with their airport packs. I think imagine these hangars with some HD textures, and I think it will look quite good. It's at least what I'm imagining that it will do. Okay, so here we are. We made it to the correct taxiway. Took our sneaky shortcut. Okay, let's do our... I think we'll go down to the end and we'll do a proper run-up. We have a long way to go and we don't want anything failing on us today too. And also I'll taxi all the way down to the bottom here since we are a little bit overweight. There has to be an element of irresponsibility to this flying that we're planning on doing. I think I don't want to disappoint you guys, so let's put the CDI into GPS mode. What is the... 209, okay. Almost the opposite of the direction we're taking off. It seems to be a trend. I feel like we've been taking off in the wrong direction since we started off on this journey. Okay, I'm just adjusting my seat here. Okay. Stop at the double line. Put on parking brake so I don't have to sit here. Okay, so 1500 RPM. And we'll take out one of the mags. Watch for the drop in RPM. On both mags. Right mag. Watch for the drop in RPM. Back on both mags. Okay, so that seems to be going well. Up to 2000 RPM. And then we'll cycle the prop 3 times. Working well, fuel flow is okay, manifold pressure is okay, and meter is charging, suction vacuum is working, oil temperature is okay. Yeah, everything's in the green here. Okay, so I think we'll just let the tower know that we want to go.
Kilo Sierra Sierra India traffic. Cessna November 905 Charlie Sierra taking off runway 4 south departure. Kilo Sierra Sierra India.
Okay, fuel pumps on, nav lights on, landing lights on, strobe lights on. Taxi light can come off. Taxiing over to the airport. I can hear nothing and I can see nothing. Okay, it's a nice long runway. Takeoff trim, I'll actually set it a little forward. Okie dokie, I'll put in my headphones and I think we'll give her the beans and see her go up, up, up. Okay, airspeed is alive. Tracking, much better at tracking the center line this time. less wind than it was last time. That was a disastrous takeoff. Watch for the falling wing on takeoff. Still some wind though. Oh yeah. Yeah, 6 knot. So it's kind of a. If you look at the GPS, it's kind of strange they gave me this runway. Yeah. Wherever we are climbing. So the mud flats I think we came in on last time, even though it's not even recognizable this time. Okay, I'm taking up the flaps. We are gaining some airspeed. It's gonna be a tough climb today though, I think. It's a pretty heavy plane. As far as I remember from the chart, it's a left traffic pattern, so we will get into a left turn here and go towards, try and head towards our heading. Turn into Jacksonville Center. Hard to get a coordinated turn going here. That's quite bad. The wind is really pulling me to the side. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Spirit 723, traffic inside.
Yeah, still a lot of wind. Alright, it's not as much as it was, obviously, but there still is some wind going on here.
Delta 2324, traffic is 10 o'clock, 4 miles at flight level 327, Airbus E320, report them in sight. 1572, turn right, heading 005, proceed on course, climb and maintain level 330.
I'm stepping on almost full right rather than a left turn here, but all this wind. It's a bit of a strange thing going on.
Turn left, heading 010, proceed on course, climb
The
and
wind
maintain
is just,
level
I think the wind is catching our tail and pushing us around. That must be what's going on here, right? Because this is not normal. Maybe is there something wrong with my wing? Maybe there's more than one thing breaking on this plane. Okay, I guess we'll trim for some more speed and see if it won't be a bit easier to handle, a little less affected by the wind as we pick up some speed here. We are crossing over the airfield. That was our alternate, straight ahead of us there. Whatever it was called. It had a funky name, that airport in front of us, like Pirate Island or something was what it was called. It was kind of a neat name. Okay, I think we'll turn the engine RPM, turn the props down a little bit, give it 85% RPM, like 2,300 RPM as we climb cruise out of here. So start leaning the fuel. I'm bringing down the power to the manifold pressure to the green. About 24 inches of manifold pressure. We won't get the best climb performance out of this, but we have a long time to climb, so it's kind of okay. If any of you real pilots out there want to tell me what I'm doing wrong and how you do this in a heavily loaded Cessna in real life, then please tell me. My theory is kind of at this point is that I don't want to spend too much time climbing or go too slow just to climb. So I'd rather get it up to the cruise speed I want to go to and climb slowly, more or less, as we're going down. And as you can see, my plane's already much more stable once we picked up some speed. It seems to be a lot less affected by that 6 knot crosswind that we were having. Pretty great. It's icy beaches. beaches and mud. Sure, there's a lot of mud down here.
Have the Boeing 737 in sight.
That's a little bit surprising that it's this muddy. Yeah, so this is the other freeware airport. This looks to be like a massive golf course by the beach here. Okay, and I know that the next leg has some airspace restrictions here, so I think what we're gonna, I'm just gonna make sure that I stay on track for this next bit. As we're passing Jekyll Island, that's what it was, not Pirate Island, but Jekyll Island. So once we pass Jekyll Island, then we'll go down here and over Fernandina Beach, and next to Jacksonville. We need to stay where we should be, and there's high density military traffic, not in the sim but in real life, I guess. And I think we're gonna just go ahead and tune into the VUR here already, that Craig 114.5, and head right towards that. So 114.5. Enter and transfer, and we'll actually put the CDI to lock. VLOC, and what was the heading that we wanted to have here? It looks like it's 192. Adjust the course for 192. And it seems like we have to go a little bit west to catch that localizer, that heading, that course. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. I think we got a comfortable cruise going already. Doing 110 knots. Let's see what it's saying. It's warm and steady, 22 Celsius.
1572, traffic is 10 o'clock, 4 miles at level 351. Airbus A320, report them in sight.
Yeah, I don't think we need the cockpit heat.
1572, traffic in sight. 121, traffic is 1 o'clock, 1 miles at level 331. Airbus A320, report them in sight.
Climbing at 500 feet per minute, so it's almost 700 feet per minute. Pretty good.
Southwest 5776. 1572, traffic is 10 o'clock, 4 miles at flight level 351. McDonnell Douglas MD-90, report them in sight.
So let's aim for a cruise today of.
10 o'clock, 1 mile at level.
Actually, let's
Kilo
here.
1
Let's
Juliet
get the weather.
1 airport information. Uniform 1553 Zulu. Weather wind 0 8 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 29 2.22. Altimeter 3001. Advise on initial contact. You have information. Uniform. Kilo 1 Juliet
It's
1
giving me sky clear, but I can see there are some clouds, so I don't think we should climb too high. Actually, I take that back. I kind of wanted to go high, but guess we could just work our way around the clouds. Yeah, let's go for 8,000 feet. It's a good increase from last time. Some big beaches down here. And some of that nice tropical weather. I think once I reach my cruise altitude, I may engage some of that time compression that I almost never use. But I have a feeling this might be a little boring. This looks a little boring, to be honest. It's somewhat interesting, but too flat for my taste. Looks pretty though. Like that looks really nice. That sort of marshy thing there. That's well done. But man, look at this. You wouldn't want to crash your plane down here. That'd be a really shitty place to try and get out on foot, huh? least it looks it in the simulator. Okay, so yeah, I guess we're drifting too far to the left. To the east. To the west, I mean. We need to go more to the east. See if we can get this to work too. So the outside temperature is, we are now currently at 6,000, roughly, or no, 4,000. So yeah, 4,000 at around 20. That should be around here. So true airspeed is about 120 knots. We have about an 8 wind tailwind, and our ground speed is 131 knots. That works out. That means everything is set up correctly, I guess, with the barometer and all that stuff. So this is down here is where our next sort of Orbix Freeware Airport is at. Is it this one? KFHB? Look at how many runways it has. It's a 3-runway airport. Kinda curious now what the next one was. Yeah, KFHB Fernandina Beach. Yeah, 3 runways, Fernandina Beach. 55J. Keep leaning the engine at this point. The mixture, I mean. Okay, watch the exhaust temperature. It should keep climbing once we lean it. Once it stops climbing, we've leaned it too far, or we hear it also in the engine. It's kind of hard to hear the engine when you put in the headphones in the A2A, but you know, it's okay. It's a little annoying to listen to the engine do for that long. I quite like it. I think I have the shader adjustment pack, and I have this the ultimate shader pack. I adjusted it a little bit. I made it a little less dark. I felt like I really liked the shadows and the contrast it gave, but everything became very black if there was overcast. I don't think I want everything to be black. That looks like an anomaly over there. Yeah, something tells me there's not a giant sinkhole here in real life. Could be wrong. But yeah, one of those adjustments adjusts the water and the granularity of the water. You can kind of see that. Looks pretty sharp. It's the same, it's the default water animation, but I think it's just the shader pack tweak that tweaks the size of the animation. Looks quite realistic to me. I don't understand why people always complain about P3D water. I think it looks pretty damn good. I think it looks a lot better than FXX water, which I think looked horrible. Even with that adjustment tool. I don't know, I think people just get used to things and then they stick by it. I don't know, it looked like sort of a plasticky fake thing. I don't know, it's not perfect still, obviously, but I think it looks a lot better than they used to. So I'm getting some, I don't know, I'm getting some frame rate dips here and there, huh? Really wonder what brings it on. I've been trying this new recorder, the OBS recorder, because it's allowing me to record my voice and the sound of the sim separately. I am actually recording them at the same time now, though. Even so, I'm just mixing them out to one track because I don't think I want to go through the trouble of editing every video. That's just going to take too long. I want to just trim off the beginning and end and get it uploaded. I don't think I want to spend the time to sit down and edit everything, but it does allow me to sort of still treat them differently to add some boost to my voice and some filters to my voice recording, and even if I mix it down to one track, it allows me to do that. I think that's pretty great. So this is the first time I'm actually trying to mix it in that software. I've tried the recording it separately, and it seems like it's doing a really good job of adjusting the volume of my voice and the sim. I'm hoping that's the case here too. I'll find out. I don't have the patience to do like separate testing. I just want to go flying. So I'm kind of keeping it at that. I think what I'll do is I'll actually turn on, since we're up here, I'm going to turn on the autopilot now. Seem to have captured that VOR. And I'll arm the altitude. And let's see if we can get some. A little bit of climb in there. I just started this autopilot. I don't understand how it works, to be perfectly honest. It's a bit too, especially when it comes to altitude. I don't get it. I think we can actually give this some more power now since we're higher up. Keep the manifold pressure at 24, 22, 23 inches. Might give us some more climb power as we make our way up to 8,000 feet, which may be a couple of thousand feet too many. That's actually looks like I should be roughly where I'm at. Why don't we make it up to 6,000 feet? We'll make it 6,000 feet. I think this seems a bit more reasonable. Okay, let's see, the oil temperature is fine. I think we'll close the cowl flaps at least halfway. Get some more airspeed out of this. We're at 100 and let's see, we're at 6,000 feet now. We can adjust this a little bit too. So the way I understand this is you line up your altitude here with whatever the temperature is outside, and then this will show you your true airspeed underneath here where your arrow is. So this is 30, plus 30, minus 30, and 0 in the middle. So we are at almost 6,000 feet, and it's almost, let's see, the outside air temperature is 17 degrees, so we're sort of halfway between this and this. So this should be about right. We're almost doing 160 knots, which works out more or less with the ground speed that we see here. Let's see now if we capture the altitude. We should. That's what I don't understand. I don't understand how the autopilot captures the altitude. It kind of feels to me like it doesn't ever do that. Let's see. We're at 6,000 feet, but we are still climbing. But if I place altitude like this, then it stops climbing. I don't understand that. Why won't it just capture the altitude and stop climbing? Well, I guess I should just YouTube it and find someone who actually understands it and see what they have to say about the thing. Well, I guess we are in Florida. Actually, I forgot to say that, but we made it to Florida, you guys. We have literally, this is the last state on the eastern seaboard. I started off, I know you guys haven't seen it, but I started off here. So, and I made it down through Bangor, Maine, and Vermont, and New Hampshire, and Massachusetts. Went all the way up to Martha's Vineyard. I went down here through Long Island, all the way down to New York. And then I started going up. I went up the Hudson. I went up to Lake Placid, and I actually took a little short detour from Lake Placid into Montreal. Then I went from Montreal to Syracuse, and from Syracuse to Buffalo, and then I went from Buffalo down to, I think I went from Buffalo to Philadelphia. The Sun Skyjet Scenery Philadelphia, and I went from Philadelphia down to Washington DC and the Ronald Reagan Airport. I went from Washington DC, I went to one of these guys, I don't remember, so I went inland. KSHD. What was that? I think I went to Staunton, Waynesboro, which was very pretty. And then from KSHD I went to KHSP, Hot Springs, Virginia, and Corowa. Kind of falling a little bit apart for me, but I went through the Smoky Mountains. I went to Mountain Air, which was amazing. What an awesome airport. Everybody should visit Mountain Air. That is some place to go to. I went from Mountain Air, I went to, what was it called Paradise? E99, I think it was. Heaven's Landing. EG99, GE99. It was a great little airport, and a really sort of fun location. And then from there, I went from. I'm actually skipping a bunch here because I also visited. I visited First Flight out here somewhere, Wright Brothers, where they had their first flight. That was fun, and then I went into the mountains. I came back down, I exited there, I went to Charlotte and Concord, and then back out to the sea and through all this terrible weather, the remains of the hurricane, and now we're down in Florida. So it's the final state on the East Coast. I have a feeling it in some ways will be the most boring state. I have some nice scenery available for it, but nothing until I get to. I have Flight Tampa. I have Miami, which is just a frame rate hog, and I have Key West, and I also have Maine, the one in Nassau, which I know it's not the States, but I really do like that airport. I like flying into Nassau. It's fun. So I might make it out there too. I don't know. I think once we make it to this next airport, I may switch things up a little bit and fly some legs with the Dash 8 Q400, just to get this enormous state out of the way, in a sense. And I think it's fun. It's fun to fly it around down here as well. So I guess we're currently outside of Jacksonville, right? Yeah, Jacksonville. That looks pretty interesting. Some ports, and is that a container yard? Huge container yard. You also have some bad weather here. Once again, flying in ways that we're not supposed to be flying in VFR, but you know, I can see through this, right? I know I'm supposed to have some more distance to it, but I can see through this. So anyways, let's try and tune, I guess it's time to tune this cruise a little bit. I find that I like to bring the props down. Okay. And I guess we're passing over the VOR. So I'll just put it into heading mode. And let's bring CDI back to GPS mode. And once we're already past the no fly zones. So I think we could, even at this point, I guess we could go back to CDI mode. But I don't know, I want to know what the... That's another thing I have never quite caught. There's a lot of things I don't know. I'm realizing more and more on the stream as I'm trying to explain what's going through my head. You get to realize what your limitations are and what you haven't learned. I am confused as to how to find the bearings for these different... the headings that I should be on. Like, what is the CDI? What I like? I mean, obviously, that sometimes the GTN 750 tells me what to tune my CDI to, but I don't know how to get how to bring that up. I guess it's this 164. Must be right, because I'm not heading in heading 164. Well, let's try that. Let's bring the heading bug over a little bit more so we can intercept this course. And once the needle starts moving, we'll switch the autopilot over to nav mode again. Yeah, I'm getting some stutters. I took a preliminary sort of test of my first stream with my first recording with this new software, the OBS software, and it looked like the recording was very stutter-free, but it does give me some frame rate issues in the sim. I mean, marginally more than Shadowplay, but I think they're there. I wonder if it's just related to the audio or something. It's just it doesn't seem, it's not sort of enough to really see a big performance difference, but there is a slight performance difference. So I guess the needle's starting to move. Let's put it over to nav mode, and we'll bring the heading bug over. See if we can bring the mixture down a little bit. Save on some fuel economy. Yeah, our temperature is climbing. Our exhaust gas temperature. Our fuel tanks seem to be about roughly the same. It does empty faster out of the right tank than the left tank. I've seen that before. I don't understand what's going on with this suction pump thing. Does anybody know how to increase the vacuum, the function of the vacuum? Or is this just normal that it's down here? It seems to never be in the green for me, and I have no idea how to move it. I think I'll move this, I think I'll keep the manifold pressure up as high as I can. I think I'll try and keep it at 23, because I want to go as fast as possible. Not as fast as possible, but I want to have a decent cruise speed. We're doing 125. True airspeed of 145. Ground speed of 148. I wonder if we can not bring that up a little bit. If we bring the RPM back up to around 80. Let's see. I did bring up the fuel flow though. We are moving 4 or 5 knots faster. Also, oh yeah, we can close the cowl flaps. That should also give us maybe a couple more knots. Just because it's less drag on the airframe. Look at that. Faster and faster. So the exhaust gas temperature is stabilized at 747. Jumbo jet temperature. Let's try and bring up 4 more % of the Let's see if we can make it go up, and we can. Bring us our fuel consumption back down again. That kind of looks like a... That looks like an improved airport of some sort, but I don't think it is. Is that default? I think it's a default airport. It's just funny. It's just got so many buildings. It's strange when you look at the default airports sometimes how most of them look pretty bad, but you know, some of them are somewhat better than others. But you can always recognize it because they have no traffic, no parking spots, which is sad. Okay, so how are we doing? We are just 1/3 of the way there. Some slow going. "43 minutes to destination." I think once we pass this next waypoint, pass over this airport here, I will enable some like a 2 times time compression or something like this once we made the turn and consider on the next course. Yeah. I mean, it looks pretty good though. I mean, that's real varied land class. Lots of different crop textures and ground textures down here. I think that very little I've been flying around Florida. I've just been flying in and out of airports in Florida and over Miami. I've never really flown around rural Florida. And yeah, it's been somewhat boring as far as I remember it. It's just been very plain. I mean, it doesn't look plain. It looks flat and boring, but it doesn't look only plain. The beaches are a great touch, as are the mud flats, I have to say, and all the coastlines here are really, it's impressive. It's a lot of vector data that comes in that vector back. I wonder, maybe we should just listen in on that approach here for listen for traffic, watch for traffic. So right to 170. And here we go. Autopilot is making the turn. Oh my goodness. That's so embarrassing. I can't believe I forgot that. I totally forgot that. I forgot all of that. Ay. That was long forgotten. Not good. Okay, so we had 758 with the fuel. Let's see if we can make it go even. higher. Seems we can. Seems we can. Let's see, what does the traffic look like? Okay, so there are some aircraft. Oh, there's an aircraft right behind us. He's going a lot faster than us. I guess it's a jet.
Jacksonville approach.
Yeah, there it is.
5317 is at 11,300, descending 8,000. Air Shuttle 5317, Jacksonville approach, roger, altimeter 3001.
It's a bit of a genius of me to figure out that that was a jet tower going that much faster than me. Well, it's that much higher too, so can't really see him. Not really a problem. I love this livery. This is my Florida livery, man. My Florida livery. What a beautiful model they made. That's really, really, really good looking. What? I thought my cowl flaps were closed.
Air Shuttle 5317, traffic is 9 o'clock, 4 miles at 6,000. Cessna Skylane, report them in sight. Air Shuttle 5317 has a Cessna Skylane in sight.
Well, I guess they've been warned about me, huh? I guess my cowl, yeah, I operated the cowl flaps the wrong way around. Oops. Oh, this should give me some more speed. 160 knots indicated at this point. That's pretty good. 161 knots. It's a decent cruise. Okay, I think what we'll do at this point is we'll just engage 2 times speed compression. 4 times speed compression as we enter the whiteout of the clouds.
Air Shuttle 531, turn heading 22. Air Shuttle 531, 1258 for Air Shuttle 5317.
Yeah, it does seem the weather's changing a little bit as we're moving south here, but maybe it's a little less dramatic than it seems. So, coming up ahead of us is the Daytona Beach airspace. This one is from 4,000 feet to 1,200 feet, and this one is from 4,000 feet to surface, so we should be totally fine. We'll just go above the airspace, no need for any clearance. These restricted airfaces though are different. 11,000 feet at this one, which I guess is the only, is that the only, yeah, that is the only airspace, so we should be fine, unless we want to make a tour of yeah, 100,000 feet to surface. There's a bit more security around the actual shuttle launch sites. But you know what? I may just be a total rebel and go for it anyway. We'll see. But anyway, point is very fine, I guess. It's good. I think we'll stay at this altitude then and not go down. It seems also that the weather is probably around 3,000 feet or something. Which will bring us into the airspace. I'd rather avoid that if I can. It's pretty benign, the weather today, I would say. We have a nice tailwind. Things are going our way. So this is Daytona Beach. I guess that's where one of the biggest flight schools in the world, right? Is that Daytona Beach International, which will be overflying. I guess that's this one. That's the one that U Airlines made the add-on scenery package for. U Airlines Sund. He also made it's published by Airsoft. He also made a bunch of Norwegian sceneries like Gardermoen and everything. He's made a bunch of Norwegian sceneries. And Bonaire in the Caribbean. I'm going to slow down. There might be actually something to see here. If I was serious, I'd try and avoid that big cloud ahead of me. But, you know, I'm not serious, so I'm not going to. But yeah, I don't know, ground textures looks pretty good when you get to the cities. That's kind of what Florida looks like. I've been there before, and it's a lot of grids and golf courses and water features. So yeah, I'm really so happy with the way my simulator's performing. You can see the Autogen loading in again here. I mean, I know that's not great, but I did speed it up. But I think it's this the level of detail radius that I've set to 4.5, which has been the best thing I've done. It's really smoothed out all my stutters and loading issues that I had, and the weird sort of frame rate dips. I mean, I still have some, but for the most part, I don't see it. Like, this is pretty even, pretty stutter free. Sort of just using my mouse cursor and looking at how smoothly the terrain moves by my mouse cursor. Seems the speed that the terrain moves is pretty consistent. It's not jumping around as it struggles to keep up with the loading of the scenery and the terrain. And yeah, I think that's mostly because I set the load distance to be what it is. Okay, I want to just take a closer look at this airport. Never been here before, and I am considering whether or not to buy the add-on for this. It's kind of an interesting layout with this one short strip, the other big ones. I know that part of this airport is a huge flight school, and I think it's down here. I know that yeah, it's one of the cheaper places to go and get rated in the world. Yeah, that was a mistake. I have mapped my zoom or my plus and minus key to my joystick, and of course I just pressed R earlier to speed up time. So when I was going to zoom in, instead of zooming in, I just accelerated time. I just wanted to see if there was traffic down here, which there was, but it now seems to be gone because of my refresh of the scenery. I love that though, that little basketball, that baseball, those baseball courts. Very, very neat. Urbex, very neat, and these houses here, all the canals. Neat. Very neat. Okay, I guess we're in the cloud again. That big wall cloud that we should totally have avoided. guess current leg is heading 167. Time to destination 18 minutes and 19 seconds. I think what we'll do is we will speed this up again. The terrain does not seem to be changing much. It's kind of the same thing we're seeing, just the size of the population centers is just growing and growing. Some big highway going down here though. I guess that's the main I-95, is it? It goes down here? I keep forgetting, but I think that's what I saw last time we checked. I think it's the one we followed when we were in South Carolina too. To Georgia. Visibility is getting worse, but it's still perfectly flyable. Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Altitude 822, traffic at 10 o'clock, 4 miles at 6,000. Cessna Skylane, report limit site.
That was a close call. That was a close call. Why did you not warn me?
Traffic at 4 o'clock, 4 miles at 7,700. Donald Douglas, NDA, report limit site.
I think we are in some sort of...
822, traffic at 12 o'clock, 4 miles at 7,000. Airbus A319, report limit site.
We are in some sort of corridor here. Look at that, there's another plane coming off our right now.
Altitude 822, turn right heading 24, American 1880, contact Orlando approach on 1211. 1211, American 1880. Turn right heading 245, Delta 2822. Southwest 1088, turn right heading 245.
Yeah, see, there's the other plane.
Southwest 1088.
Is it the MD-90? Yeah, it's Delta MD-90 that they were talking about. Whoa.
Altitude 822, contact Orlando approach on 1211. 121.1 for Delta 2822.
And there's more. I think we're following. Like, that's the thing I really like about Ultimate Traffic 2. As opposed to... That's the thing that I really like about Ultimate Traffic 2, is that they are following real airways. So you can see planes sort of coming in after each other, even though they have different destinations. With the default traffic, they just fly point to point, and this is so much better that they follow real routes. I absolutely love that, especially when you're flying around yourself and you're following an airway and you just see other planes kind of follow up to you, and I don't know, it is, I think it's so much more immersive when the traffic follows real routes, not just point to point. I mean, there still is some spacing issues here that are not quite believable, but still. You can turn on the airways here. Let's see if we can. I think we should be able to see them follow some of these airways. You see them, they're following these airways going around here. I don't know what these guys are following, but they are probably heading towards some of them. You can see these guys following these airways over here. It's, yeah, I don't know, it's neat. I really like it. That's a great feature. I think it's really helps with the immersion, which is, I think, what most things that you do in flight sim should do. So this one had 11,000 feet, so we're fine. But basically, so if you look at this, I guess out here is Cape Canaveral. Let's see, what is this? Is the KTTS? Is that? That's Titusville. Remember that? I wanted to go see the shuttle launch once, and that was in Titusville. You can go look at Cocoa Beach. I think. I think what we'll do here right about now is we'll take over manual control of this, and we'll head out to, I want to overfly Cape Canaveral. That's what I want to do. You can see the buildings already. So it was KTTS, NASA Shuttle Landing Facility. That's pretty neat. And let's request a transition.
Charlie Sierra is type Cessna Skylane, 2 miles southwest of 3 Foxtrot Delta 6, 6,000, requesting transition. Cessna November 995, Charlie Sierra, transition approved. Report clear of Settles Tower airspace. Maintain no navigation. Will report clear. Cessna 5, Charlie Sierra.
Okay, so we got our clearance. I really need to get on pilot edge. I want to understand these airspaces more. It's a neat sort of thing. This is that enormous runway that they have. Isn't that KTTS? I think it was Airsoft that used to have scenery for this, for Cape Canaveral. But I haven't, it's old scenery, isn't it? Also, I kind of don't understand exactly what you're supposed to do with that. Like, it's not like people fly in and out of that. And it's not like, I don't know, maybe they did have sort of animated shuttle launches or rocket launches. That'd be neat. I like that FSX mission that came with acceleration back in the day, where you flew the F-18 and you patrolled the airspace for the shuttle launch. That was cool. I like that. I think the idea of the mission was great, but I don't know, the execution was often so bad. And it was, I don't know, if they made it real, like if they made it more realistic, that would be something. I'd appreciate that. So I think what we'll do is we'll overfly KTTS here, and we'll follow the coastline down, and we'll go to KCOI, Kilo Charlie Oscar India, Merritt Island. At 6 feet above sea level. Left traffic, runway 11 and 29.
Kilo,
Let's get the
Tango,
weather.
Tango, Sierra, airport information, Yankee, 1652, Zulu, weather, wind, calm, visibility, 10, sky condition, ceiling, 8,000, broken, temperature, 1, dew point, 3, altimeter, 2999, advise on initial contact, you have information, Yankee, Kilo, Tango,
So, no
Sierra, airport
wind,
information,
basically.
Yankee.
That's okay. I like that. Yes, we are inside airspace. I know that. We got cleared. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been flying over the shuttle launch facility. I get some stutters. I guess the stutters, to me the stutters seem completely related to scenery loading. Yeah, here we go. It's loaded the scenery, it's happy again. But yeah, so here's the main massive hangar where they put things together. And I guess these are the launch ramps out here, aren't they? Yes, they are. There's 2 of them. This one actually has a shuttle on it with the crawler. It's neat. I think there's a causeway here, or like a road that goes from this building all the way out there, the crawler, and it takes like 2 or 3 days for it to make that trip because it's moving so slowly. I remember being fascinated by that crawler as a kid, and how slow it moved, and how big it was. I remember being especially fascinated by the sort of the feet of the belt that it was on. They were tons. They were really, really heavy, and I was like, oh my god, how can you make a thread, like a tank thread out of something so heavy? And why do you make it move so slow? Of course, you know, makes perfect sense, but anyway, it's neat. It's a wind gust here? I thought it said no wind. 3 knots. It's pretty good. I should get my Easy Dock cameras fixed up a bit better than they are. I don't really... It functions fine for me, but I guess it's pretty annoying for you guys as viewers to watch me just sort of like snap around camera to camera. The stutters are real. The stutters are real. Yeah, I don't know. We need to have better scenery for this. This is a pretty cool point of interest. I mean, these are neat. I like this. This is cool. But I want more of that. I want more ramps, more shuttles. It's cool. Pretty big area though, I'll really give them that. Look at that, it is pretty enormous that they've set aside this whole island for space. That must provide some pretty decent security. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's time to turn right here and go towards where we want to be going. We have not used a lot of fuel, so that's pretty cool. And they have, actually this time we haven't developed this big imbalance that we had last time either. It's a lot better. Maybe because I kept the fuel pump on the whole time like an idiot. Maybe that's why. I'm sure that wears out the fuel pump. One thing that's really gonna be interesting here is I still remember that we have the tire problem. So we could be in for a very rude landing. Very excited. I want to see what happens. I'm not gonna redo legs on this flight if I do crash or do mess up or something breaks. I am gonna just keep going as if nothing happened, because this is a simulator, and you know, it's not fun to do things twice. I'm gonna do it once. If the stream messes up or something too, I'm not gonna redo it again. So that is the way it is going to be. Okay, I think we can... I don't know if we're clear of the tower, are we? But clear of the airspace. The Class D airspace, I guess.
Shuttle Tower, Cessna 5 Charlie Sierra is clear of the Shuttle Tower airspace. Cessna 5 Charlie Sierra, Shuttle Tower, frequency change approved.
Skid strip. Okay. KCOI. Kilo Charlie Oscar India. We are heading, why don't we take runway 29 since the weather is apparently pretty good.
Merritt Island traffic, Cessna November 995 Charlie Sierra is 9 miles north 6000 inbound to land, runway 29 Merritt Island.
Okay, so it's actually, you see the spit here with well, we have one here, and then there is another one a little further down. I guess that's this one. That should be lining up almost with our airport. Our airport should be somewhere around here. Yeah, that's our airport right there, isn't it? So, I definitely think it's time to start losing some altitude. I will take out the autopilot and bring the throttle back. Wait. Sometimes you wish you had like a powered trim wheel or something, so it would behave a little bit more predictably once you took out the autopilot, but you know, you can live with that. I'll start pushing in the mixture a little bit, just since we are going down. And I'll turn on the landing lights. Yeah, this is that channel. This bit, and yeah, here it is. I mean, clear. Here it is. There's no question about it. Yeah. I like the waves. I like the idea of the waves. They should just be bigger. They look terrible in like little cramped areas like this. They look much better on big ocean beaches. What is that though? That is neat. Not really. Okay, that's my wife. I need to go open up for her. Typical. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, so we'll come over this town here, and I think we'll make our turn point more or less around over the beach here. Come in around here, turn over the beach, and follow the channels towards the airport. yeah, I was talking about the waves. That's what I was talking about. And those ships look terrible. No, I don't think they're Henrik Nielsen's ship. I think they're just default ships put there by Orbex or something. They don't look terrible, but you know, I always get excited when I see ships now because it's so often something new that I haven't seen. And it's like little presents in the simulator. Very, very cool. So there's some more of those antennas, huh? Yeah, Florida is a flat place. I don't think we've seen any. I mean, it's amazing. This whole thing is gonna be underwater when global warming hits for reals. It's gonna be bye Florida. It is. I guess I should look into what's the highest point around here, but it doesn't look very high. Okay, I think we'll put the fuel pump on at this point. I'll full rich on the mixture, and we take the RPM all the way up. And I think we will. I'm cheating a little bit. Am I not? This was a left traffic pattern. I should have come over the airport and circled around. Well.
Merritt Island traffic. Cessna November 905 Charlie Sierra is on base. Runway 29er. Merritt Island.
Okay. We're starting to get to the speed we want to be at. 80 knots here. Drop a little bit more altitude and then I'll drop some flaps. It's gonna be very exciting with those wheels. I'm excited. Okay, I think we can report final.
Merritt Island traffic. Cessna November 905 Charlie Sierra is on final. Runway 29er to land. Merritt Island.
I'll bring the throttle all the way back at this point, almost. Not quite all the way back, but almost. Okay, let's take out the headphones too. I like to hear the engine as I'm landing. Yeah. Okay. A cool little airport. I like how it's located. This is kind of neat. I like it. It looks better when you get down further down, doesn't it? I think I may have made a mistake. Just sort of looks wise of cruising so high. It's like it really does look better down low. Okay, we'll give some flaps.
500.
Let's see if we can not balloon because of it. I think we'll give it 2 flaps here because I need to slow down if I'm going to make this. I think we'll even try, and it was still a little high, so I'll try and sort of slip, give it a little bit of a slip. Yeah, and that looks better, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. Rest the sink. A little low. Typical. Always get a little low. Okay, we're coming in. Whoa. Stall warning. Whoa. Whoa, that was terrible. Terrible. Oi, that's the worst landing in a while. See, that's what I was saying in an earlier stream. This aircraft, it's kind of like you think it's easy, but it sometimes it just tries to kill you. I think our wheels were okay though. Beacon can come on. Where do you wanna? let's park to the right here. No, left. I think our tires made it, even though that was kind of a hard landing. Okay. That's it. Taxi light can come on, beacon can come off, avions come off, magnetos come off, and fuel master comes off. Okay. That's us. We're officially made it to Florida. Tires seem to be in order. Let's just check out the hangar and see what the hangar says. Yep, it says the same. The nose wheel needs replacing. I think, are those cracks developing there? I wonder if that's a dynamic thing or if it's part of the livery. Anyway, if you like what you saw, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.